Okay, are we ready to begin? Are we streaming? Can you double check? Because I don't want to.
Mr. Mayor, we are live.
All right, we are live and we are streaming for a special meeting of the governing body, January 30th. We're beginning at about 6:12 p.m. in the council chambers. We'll begin, Councilor. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilor Cassett, salute to the New Mexico flag led by Councilor Lindell, and Councilwoman Villarreal will lead us in an invocation. Please rise.
Tonight, I ask Creator to give us the strength to continue lifting up justice and equity, even when we are weary and may feel like we are alone in the fight. Give strength to those in our community, our country, and the world who have experienced loss, and protect us all and provide us light when hurt, pain, profound loss, and grief surround us. Please give this governing body the strength to make informed and consistent decisions and do the best we can with a full week of special and regular meetings. Thank you, Creator, for your guidance and love. Amen.
Thank you. Other thoughts at this time in our invocation? Let's take a minute and reflect on what the councilwoman just said about those who are suffering, those in pain, those dealing with loss in our country at this time of great anguish and division. Let's bow our heads. Thanks, everybody. Madam Assistant City Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Mayor Weber.
Present.
Councillor Cassett. Here. Councillor Chavez is excused. Councillor Lee Garcia.
Here.
Councillor Michael Garcia.
Present.
Councillor Lindell. Councillor Rivera.
Here.
Councillor Romero Worth. Here. Councilwoman Villarreal.
Present.
You have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved.
There's a motion to approve the agenda and there is a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk, would you read item 7A for us and then we'll get a presentation.
7A is a request for approval to terminate the agreement of sale for 1085 Richards Avenue between the City of Santa Fe and New Mexico Game Commission for inability to reach an agreement on purchase price. And I believe Terry Lease is here to present.
Mr. City Manager, do you want to tee it up or you want Mr. Lease to?
No, I'm happy to, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. I will defer to Terry and to the city attorney if there are specific legal or technical questions. I think that you all are aware Friday, I let you know that the Game and Fish Commission met in their regular scheduled meeting. They went into executive session and considered the Second Amendment that you all voted on a few weeks ago, a month ago now. Came out of executive session. They did not give an explanation publicly, but they did vote not to accept the amendment, to reject the amendment. That was a unanimous vote. And then they offered a motion to hire a realtor that would help them list the market or list the property on the market. That also passed unanimously. If you recall, we entered into an agreement with Game and Fish Commission to extend consideration of how to move forward until I believe tomorrow was the deadline. And so the reason for calling a special meeting tonight, quick caveat, thank you all for meeting on relatively short notice for the special meeting. The purpose was so that you all could direct me as to whether or not you would like for me to terminate the agreement and we will walk away from the deal, or you could tell me that you'd like to spend $3 million and buy the property anyway. I think, and I would defer to Terry on this and others, I think we do believe there may be other opportunities to try to purchase the land by parcel or by other opportunity if it's on the market. other options might be available as well. But the deal that we have right now is that there's a time constraint for us to decide either to terminate or to agree on the deal.
Thank you. Mr. Lees, was there anything you would add to the city manager's comments about where we are right now?
Mr. Mayor, councilors, no, I think you covered it.
Okay, are there, well, first of all, I'd entertain a motion.
Mayor?
Yeah.
So the Game Commission went into executive session to discuss the sale. Do we also have that option?
Mr. Mayor, Councilor Mayor Worth, I'm going to defer to the city attorney, but I think yes.
Mayor over councilors, yes. If the council would like to go into executive session to discuss, we can definitely do that. We were in a rush to put this agenda up. We don't need to put executive session on, but if a matter qualifies, then you're able to go into executive session.
Is there an appetite for an executive session to discuss the situation more fully? I'd be, Councilor Rivera, you want to make a motion for us to go into executive session? You're the old hand at that. No, you're the master of that, sir.
Distinguished member.
I apologize. You are not old. You are a master at that.
They were just laughing at me because I had to ride my horse to Monica Roy Ball Center. Mr. Mayor, I move that we enter an executive session pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, section 10-15-1H, subpart 7 for discussion of threatened or pending litigation in which the governing body is or may become a participant. Was that the right one?
Mayor over Councilor Rivera, I think we want to do the disposition or acquisition of property one, which I think is 8. I'm trying to pull it up, but if you happen to have it in front of you, I believe it's 8. At this point, we don't anticipate litigation, but
Oh, got it. Okay. Didn't sound right. I move that we enter an executive session pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, section 10-15-1H, subpart 8 for discussion of the purchase, acquisition, or disposal of real property or water rights by the governing body.
Second.
Just a second.
Mr. Mayor, as a quick caveat, we will work to get a link for Councilor Michael Garcia as well, so he can participate.
Great. Could you call the roll on the motion, please?
Counselor Cassett,
Yes.
Counselor Chavez, Chavez is out. Counselor Lee Garcia,
Yes.
Counselor Michael Garcia,
Yes.
Counselor Lindell, Counselor Romero Worth,
Yes.
Councilwoman Villarreal,
Yes.
Mayor Weber,
Yes.
I was a yes as well.
Counselor Rivera, sorry.
He made the motion. All right, we will go into executive session and resume after we've completed those conversations.
Carolyn, do we have to get Counselor Michael Garcia back?
Yes, we do. Can we get Counselor Michael Garcia back in the room? And as soon as he's back with us, Counselor Rivera, I will entertain a motion from you to get us back in session. I know. Are we all, is Michael with us now? Counselor Garcia, are you there?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'm here.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, sir. I'm going to bring us back into session and recognize Counselor Rivera for a motion.
Thank you, Mayor. Pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, Section 10-15-1J, I move that the governing body reconvene in open session and state for the record that the matters discussed in the closed session were limited to those specified in the motion for closure.
Second.
There's a motion, there's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So having spent some time now, I would entertain a motion with regard to the matter in front of us regarding the agreement for the sale of 1085 Richards Avenue.
I move to terminate the agreement.
Is there discussion? I see some hands, so let's, Counselor Cassidy, I recognize you first, and then Counselor Lee Garcia, and then I think Counselor Worth has a question.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I believe this question is for Director Wheeler. So as you are well aware, one of the reasons that we were looking at purchasing this property is because we're going to need some land for the Richards extension, and I am curious about the impacts of not purchasing the full Game and Fish property on our ability to move forward, and will we still be able to acquire the needed land, the needed right of way in order to build the crossing?
Thank you very much, Mayor, councilors. Yes, it is our normal process to acquire right of way after the road is designed and we know exactly what land we need. It's very unusual to have a opportunity like this where we might have purchased the land well in advance of completing design. So we will fully move forward with the project and then identify exact right of way needs and then pursue right of way acquisition as is our normal process right after the design is complete.
Thank you so much, Director Wheeler. It's obviously a big point of interest in my district. So knowing that this does not impact that is important. So thank you so much. Yield the floor.
Thank you. Counselor Lee Garcia, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. I think the question I have is for Mr. Lease. So at the purchase price of $3 million, if you take in, we're looking at about 130,000 per acre. Is that a complete buildable or usable area for this property?
Mr. Mayor, Councilor Garcia, will you please repeat that question? I'm sorry.
How much of this piece of property is actually usable?
Mr. Mayor, Councilor Garcia, thank you. Yeah, you know what? In the Game and Fish appraisal, that appraiser estimated approximately 5 acres in the floodplain, 18 acres of buildable land.
Thank you. So then really, in essence, you're buying 18 acres of property that we could actually utilize at a.
Mr. Mayor, Councilor, I'm sorry.
No, at $3 million, that's about 166,000 per acre.
Right. Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Councilor Garcia, that's correct. So we'd lose 5 acres approximately to floodplain. And then you add to that the future road of another 4 to 5 acres. There is some overlap there. So the developable land would actually be, I would estimate, less than 18.
All right, thank you. That was the question I have. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Counselor. And Counselor Merriworth, you had your hand up.
Thank you, Mayor. I think this question might be for the city manager, but I don't know, there may be others who weigh in. I know we have Andrea Salazar, I think, too. So I don't know. I'm not sure who exactly has been in the room, but the $2.1 million purchase price, how did we get to that? There was, as I recall, something, a desk appraisal, because we had two different appraisals. So the appraisals were in essence, maybe in conflict or not in agreement. And so we went out to find a way to resolve that. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Mr. Mayor, Council Romero Worth, Terry, let me take a swing, and if I don't get it right, you can clean up for me, okay? The original agreement that was entered into with with Game and Fish for this land was based on their appraisal of $3 million, but that agreement was contingent upon the city being able to conduct its own appraisal. That appraisal was completed, I believe, in early January, and that appraisal came in at the value being $1.4 something million, so less than half of what the original Game and Fish Commission proposal or appraisal was. From that point, we met with Game and Fish staff to talk about how could we potentially move forward in an effort for the city to still be able to buy the land. And an agreement was reached to hire a third appraiser to conduct a desk review of both appraisals. So a third appraisal wasn't done, but a third appraiser was hired to review the work done on the Game and Fish appraisal and work on the city appraisal. The way that we reached that, because we wanted to make sure there was no suggestion it was the city who had forced this upon everybody, was that Mr. Lease presented the Game and Fish staff with a list of the appraisers who were approved already by the city that we could hire swiftly, and we let the Game and Fish staff select the appraiser. And when that work was completed a few weeks ago, the third appraiser came back and said, I see some errors in the Game and Fish appraisal. I see some errors in the city's appraisal. And I think the true number is 2.1 million. And so that was how it came to be, that we didn't arbitrarily pick that number. It was the number that the desk review suggested was the true value of the land.
Okay, interesting. So just to be clear, there were two appraisals. The first purchase price of $3 million was because Game and Fish appraisal said that's what the land was worth. Then we did our own appraisal, came out considerably different. And then through mutual agreement, we had a list of a third appraiser who then was selected by Game and Fish to do this desk review or of the two appraisals to try to come to some common number between the two.
Mr. Mayor, Councilor, that is correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilor Lindell, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you, Counselor, for making that clear. So I'm not sure, this is probably to the city attorney. And maybe Mr. Lease. So we still have, we have an interest in some of this property because we want to build a road across there. Is that correct?
Mr. Mayor, Councilor Lindell, that's correct.
And under what circumstances does this city, ever use something like eminent domain?
Mr. Mayor, Councilor Lindell, in a situation like this, and perhaps Ms. Wheeler can speak to it more clearly, but we certainly, if this sale goes through to a private individual, we would, once we have the road defined, we would attempt to enter into a negotiation, good faith negotiation with a new owner to purchase just the right-of-way road that is necessary at fair market value. If for some reason we could not reach an agreement with the new owner, then we would have condemnation process, to acquire the right-of-way if necessary.
Okay. I think you answered it thoroughly. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Any other clarifying questions about where we are with the transaction? Buddy? Councilor Garcia, I'm not ignoring you up there, sir.
No questions, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Sometimes when it's a screen presence, my line of sight doesn't get up high enough. Okay. No, I'm an equal opportunity employer. You shouldn't take it personally. I treat everybody the same very badly. Other questions, other comments? All in, all good. All right. In that case, could you please call the roll on the motion, which would terminate the agreement for inability to reach agreement on the purchase price?
Counselor Lee Garcia,
Yes.
Counselor Michael Garcia,
Yes.
Counselor Lindell,
Yes.
Counselor Rivera,
Yes.
Counselor Romero Worth,
Yes.
Councilwoman Villarreal,
Yes.
Mayor Weber,
Yes.
Counselor Cassett,
Yes.
motion passes.
Motion passes. Our business for this evening is done. Thank you for helping us through this, staff. We appreciate it. And to everybody who had to scramble down here, much appreciated as well. We are